Welcome back to Timeless Black Excellence. I'm your host, Abdias Dalisman. In today's segment, we're talking about the most important figure in African American politics, the one, the only, Barack Hussein Obama. This man has done so much for the progression of the middle class in America, and I don't think he's gotten as much credit as he deserves for the work he's put in. Like with anything in politics, it takes time for laws to pass and progression to be seen. So don't be surprised to hear about things that Obama administration put in place that the following administration might take credit for. Let's begin. Barack Obama Jr. was born on August 4th, 1961 in Hawaii to his mother Ann Dunham and his father Barack Obama Sr. When his son was still an infant, Obama Sr. relocated to Massachusetts to attend Harvard University and pursue a PhD. Soon after, Obama Sr. returned to Kenya. Barack Obama Jr. was raised in Hawaii by his mother and enrolled in the esteemed Punahou Academy. He excelled in basketball, and as one of the only 3 black students at the school, he graduated with academic honors in 1979. Later on that same year, Obama entered Occidental College in Los Angeles. After 2 years, he transferred to Columbia University in New York City, where he graduated in 1983 with a degree in political science. After graduating from Columbia University, as an undergrad, Obama worked in the business sector for 2 years. He then moved to Chicago in 1985, where he worked on the impoverished South Side as a community organizer for low-income residents. In 1988, Obama entered Harvard Law School. He later was elected the first African-American editor of the Harvard Law Review. After joining the Chicago law firm of Sidley Austin as a summer associate, Obama met Michelle Robinson, a young lawyer who was assigned to be his advisor. Not long after, the couple began dating. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson was born on January 17, 1964 in Chicago, Illinois, to parents Marion and Fraser Robinson. She skipped the 2nd grade, and Michelle was later chosen for a gifted student program that enabled her to take French and advanced biology courses. Michelle became student council treasurer and a member of the National Honor Society before graduating as class salutatorian in 1981. She then followed her brother to Princeton University, where she created a reading program for the children of the school's manual laborers. A sociology major with a minor in African American studies, she explored the connections between the school's black alumni and their communities in her senior thesis, graduating cum laude in 1985. Upon graduation, she said in her senior thesis that Princeton made her more aware of her blackness than ever before. After leaving Harvard Law School in 1981, Michelle joined the Chicago office of the law firm Sidley Austin as a junior associate specializing in marketing and intellectual property. After joining the Chicago law firm, Obama met Michelle Robinson, who was assigned to be his advisor. Not long after, the couple started dating. After Barack Obama graduated magna cum laude from Harvard Law, the couple were engaged and married at the Trinity United Church of Christ on October 3rd, 1992 in Chicago, Illinois. Additionally, as an assistant to Chicago Mayor Richard Daley, Michelle soon became the city's Assistant Commissioner of Planning and Development. In 1993, she was named Executive Director of the Chicago branch of Public Allies, a leadership training program for young adults. Moving on to the University of Chicago as an Associate Dean of Student Services, she developed the school's first community service program. They moved to Kenwood on Chicago's South Side. Barack and Michelle Obama welcomed 2 daughters several years later. Malia, born in 1998, and Sasha, born in 2001. After law school, Obama returned to Chicago to practice as a civil rights lawyer with the firm of Minor, Bernhold, and Golland. He also taught constitutional law part-time at the University of Chicago Law School between 1992 and 2004, first as a lecturer and then as a professor, and helped organize voter registration drives during Bill Clinton's 1992 presidential campaign. Michelle was named Executive Director of Community Relations and External Affairs for the University of Chicago Hospitals in 2002. She was promoted to Vice President after 3 years and served on the board of the Chicago Council on Global Affairs and the University of Chicago Laboratory Schools. Obama first published his autobiography, Dreams of My Father, A Story of Race and Inheritance, in 1995. It has since been printed in more than 25 languages and also had a second printing in 2004, which was also adopted for a children's version. Obama decided to run for the U.S. Senate open seat in the 2004 Democratic primary. He defeated his opponent with 52% of the vote. That summer, he was invited to deliver the keynote speech in support of John Kerry at the 2004 Democratic National Convention in Boston.
It is that fundamental belief. It is that fundamental belief. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper that makes this country work. It's what allows us to pursue our individual dreams and yet still come together as one American family.
Obama emphasized the importance of unity. In November 2004 general election, Obama received 70% of the vote, the largest electoral victory in Illinois state history. With his win, Obama became one of the third African American elected to the U.S. Senate since Reconstruction. Obama also spoke out for victims of Hurricane Katrina, pushed for alternative energy development, and championed improved veteran benefits. His second book, The Audacity of Hope, Thoughts on Reclaiming the American Dream, was published in October 2006. The audiobook version of Dreams, narrated by Obama, received a Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word in 2006. On November 4th, 2008, Obama defeated Republican presidential nominee John McCain 52.9% to 45.7% to win elections as the 44th President of the United States of America and the first African American to hold this office. After George Bush Jr. left office, America was in recession, and when Obama took office, the country was in economic freefall. Unemployment hit 10% in October 2009. A $787 billion stimulus bill was passed to promote short-term economic growth. Loans were made to the auto industry in the form of a bailout, which saved the auto industry and rescued millions of American jobs with automakers. There were new regulations proposed on Wall Street, regulations on big banks as well, making it so that the banks could not use consumer money in proprietary trading or owning their own hedge funds. In the first 100 days in office, Obama expanded health care insurance for children and provided legal protection for women seeking equal pay. Obama also worked with law enforcement officials to require that videotaping of interrogations and confessions in all capital cases after a number of death row inmates were found to be innocent. Also in the first 100 days in office, Nobel Committee in Norway awarded President Barack Obama with the 2009 Nobel Peace Prize. May 2009 was a busy month for Barack Obama. A monumental ban on stem cell research was lifted, and the president also loosened the ban on embryonic stem cell research as well. And if you don't know how important stem cell research is, I encourage you to do some research. Also, in May 2009, Obama signed into law a credit card reform bill stating that credit card companies cannot raise interest rates on consumers without proper notification. Obama cut taxes and put programs in place for working families, small businesses, and first-time home buyers. He created education programs for the poor and the state-earned income tax credit for the working class. Obama shut down all for-profit colleges that didn't offer proper accreditation. He created Pell Grant changes, which helped disadvantaged students graduate faster, and moved ahead with a $3.5 trillion budget plan. In August 2009, he elected the first Hispanic to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, Justice Sotomayor. He was able to also bring on Elena Kagan, making both of them the third and fourth women to ever serve these positions. He elected the first African American man and woman to serve as attorney generals. He also elected the most diverse cabinet the United States has seen up until that point. Michelle Obama targeted the epidemic of childhood obesity while the Affordable Care Act was being created. In 2009, she worked with local elementary school students to plant a 1,100 square foot vegetable garden on the south lawn of the White House. The following year, she launched the Let's Move initiative to promote healthy eating and physical activity. In March 2010, Obama signed the Health Care Reform Plan, known as the Affordable Care Act. The law prohibited the denial of coverage based on pre-existing conditions. You cannot be charged more for health care because you are a woman. It allowed citizens under 26 years old to be insured underneath their parents' plans. You cannot put a lifetime cap on benefits that you are allowed to need. It provided free health screenings for certain citizens and expanded insurance coverage and access to medical care to millions of Americans. Over 20 million people in the U.S. were able to get health insurance that were before denied. Over 90% of all Americans today have health insurance thanks to President Obama. He saved Medicare and slowed down the inevitable deterioration of Medicare and slowed down the growth of medical costs. In 2011, Michelle co-founded the Joining Forces program to expand educational and employment options for veterans to raise awareness about the difficulties plaguing military families. Veteran homelessness was nearly cut in half, down 47% since 2010. On April 29, 2011, Obama gave the green light to a covert operation in Pakistan to track down the infamous Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, who was said to be the mastermind behind the 9/11 terrorist attacks. On May 2, 2011, an elite team of U.S. Navy SEALs raided the compound and within 40 minutes killed bin Laden in a firefight. There were no American casualties, and the team was able to collect invaluable intelligence about the workings of Al-Qaeda. Obama undertook a complete overhaul of America's foreign policy. He reached out to improve relations with Europe, China, and Russia, and to open dialogue with Iran, Venezuela, and Cuba. He lobbied allies to support a global economic stimulus package. And in August 2012, he put in place executive orders improving access to mental health services for veterans, service members, and their families. He opened all combat positions to women and gave more funeral accommodations to the families of fallen soldiers. On November 6, 2012, Obama won a second 4-year term as president by receiving nearly 5 million more votes than Romney and captured more than 60% of the Electoral College. After helping Obama win a second term in office, Michelle formed the Reach Higher initiative to inspire young people to explore higher education and career development opportunities. On a trip to South Africa, Ms. Obama set out to focus on youth leadership, health, and education. She also met with former President of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Obama achieved a major legislative victory on January 1, 2013, when a tax increase and spending cuts vote agreement marked a productive first step towards the president's re-election promise of reducing the federal deficit by raising taxes on the extremely wealthy. In September 2013, Obama made diplomatic strides with Iran. He spoke with the Iranian president on the phone, which marked the first direct contact between the leaders of the two countries in more than 30 years. A deal could be reached to lift sanctions in Iran in return for that, the country's willingness to halt its nuclear development program. During the 2013 Academy Awards, Ms. Obama became the first lady to announce the winner of an Oscar. Later in 2013, President Obama allowed the legalization of marijuana in two states, Colorado and Washington. The legalization earned an estimated $1.5 billion just for the state of Colorado alone. The increase of tax revenue jumped 266% in 2017, which in turn was used on public schools, human services, public affairs, agriculture, healthcare, transportation, as well as labor and employment. In December 2014, Obama moved to reestablish diplomatic relations with Cuba for the first time in more than 50 years. He and Cuban president announced the normalizing of diplomatic relations for the first time since 1961. And eventually, the U.S. opens up an embassy in Cuba. 2 years later, Obama became the first sitting American president to visit Cuba since 1928, as a larger part of his program to establish greater cooperation between the two countries, as well as getting Cuban cigars legalized in the United States. On June 26, 2015, the U.S. Supreme Court made same-sex marriage legal throughout the country. Also, the year before, Obama signed an executive order to end LGBT job and workplace discrimination. In August 2015, the Obama administration announced the Clean Power Plan, a major climate change plan aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions, the first ever national standard to limit carbon pollution from coal-burning power plants in the United States. In 2015, Obama called for criminal justice reform, created President's Task Force on the 21st Century Policing, urged police killings to be investigated by independent prosecutors, called for the end of racial profiling and more community policing. He appointed a special advisor to the president on violence against women and fully funded Violence Against Women Act. He initiated a grant and training program for law enforcement to deter cybercrime. He restored funding to the Brian Justice Assistance Grant, became the first sitting president to visit a federal prison where he met nonviolent drug offenders. The Obama administration created consent decrees, which is a court-ordered agreement between law enforcement and the Department of Justice to correct systematic misconduct in police departments. He started the Smart on Crime initiative to focus on alternative rehabilitation and community programs for low-level offenders. On March 10, 2016, Obama met at the White House with newly elected Canadian Prime Minister in the first official visit by a Canadian leader in nearly 20 years. On January 10, 2017, Obama returned to his adopted home city of Chicago to deliver his farewell address. On January 19, 2017, was Obama's last full day in office. He announced 330 sentence commutes for nonviolent drug offenders. The president granted a total of over 1,900 clemencies, and in his last days in the Oval Office, Obama also presented Biden with the Presidential Medal of Freedom with distinction. After leaving the White House, the Obama family moved to a home in the neighborhood of Washington, D.C. to allow the youngest daughter, Sasha, to continue school. Obama embarked on a three-nation tour in late fall 2017, meeting with such leaders of state as President of China, Prime Minister of India, and on February 12, 2018, my birthday, the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery unveiled its official portraits of Barack and Michelle. When Obama took office, the country was in economic freefall. Unemployment hit 10% in October 2009. When Obama left office in 2016, unemployment was down around 4%. He reduced the federal deficit by 2/3, went from 9.8% of the GDP in 2009 to 3.2% in 2016. During Obama's presidency, the nation's high school graduation rate reached a record high 83.2%, the highest it's been in the history of this country. Under President Obama, there was 82 consecutive months of private sector job growth, the longest streak in U.S. history where there was job growth rather than loss. When Obama was president, we put a rover on Mars and saw the first drop in federal prison population in decades. It was the first time in 34 years there was less crimes being committed. He organized a biannual nuclear security summit. It was the first time in history it has been done. He asked countries to get rid of their nuclear materials, and as a result, 16 countries around the globe gave up their access to highly enriched uranium, which is used to make nuclear weapons or bombs. He also elected the nation's first chief technology officer. Obama was the first president in history to voluntarily disclose the names of the persons visiting the White House, committing to transparency. And Obama phones were given to citizens of various federal programs that could qualify for a free cell phone. In July 2018, Obama delivered a speech in Johannesburg, South Africa, to mark the 100th anniversary of Nelson Mandela's birth. On November 13th, 2018, Michelle Obama published the book Becoming Michelle Obama. The first volume of Obama's presidential memoirs, The Promised Land, was released in November 2020. Barack and Michelle negotiated with Netflix to create exclusive content for the streaming service through the production company Higher Ground. Sources familiar with the discussions said that the former president and first lady were interested in producing shows that highlight inspirational stories. A multi-year deal was later finalized in May. The fruits of Obama-Netflix collaboration first appeared with the August 2019 release of American Factory, an Oscar-winning documentary about the 2015 launch of a Chinese-owned automotive glass factory in Dayton, Ohio, and the clash of differing cultures and business interests. The Obamas had a huge impact on the 2020 election with voter turnout. Michelle Obama's nonpartisan voting initiative, When We All Vote, was funded months before the 2018 midterms. They also started a coalition of 31 mayors across the country to increase voter registration and civic engagement, which helped get nearly 2/3 of eligible voters to vote. And in turn, over 158 million ballots were cast in the 2020 election. Barack Hussein Obama is one of the most influential figures in American history. The many accomplishments he has achieved may be overlooked by the monumental expectations that were bestowed on him after being elected the 44th President of the United States of America. But let's not forget the significance of his presidency and the contributions his administration made for the progression of criminal justice, the economy, foreign relations, healthcare, human equality, and overall Black excellence. Thank you for watching Timeless Black Excellence. Please join us again. Please like, share, subscribe, and please comment on our content. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.